Today, we're diving into the brand new 11th edition of the Diabetes Atlas. Now, this is the definitive guide to a global health crisis that's honestly accelerating at a pretty alarming rate. So let's just get straight to the numbers. 589 million. Just take a second to let that number sink in. It's not just some statistic on a page. That's the number of adults, right now, living with diabetes across the globe. You know, behind that massive number are real people, real families, and entire communities. We're looking at one of the fastest growing health emergencies of our time. So the new Diabetes Atlas helps us answer two really critical questions. How in the world did we get here? And maybe more importantly, where are we heading? To really get a handle on the scale of this, you've got to look back. I mean, this problem didn't just pop up overnight. It's been an accelerating wave that has been building for decades. So check this out. Back in the year 2000, we were looking at 151 million adults with diabetes. Now fast forward just 24 years, and that number has nearly quadrupled. It's an incredible surge, really, and it's being driven by all sorts of things like rapid urbanization and major shifts in global diets. It means the growth isn't just steady, it's actually speeding up. That curve is just getting steeper and steeper every year. But what exactly is diabetes? Behind these huge, almost unbelievable numbers is a complex medical condition, so let's really quickly just cover the basics. Okay, so at its core, it's all about insulin. That's the hormone that lets our cells use sugar from our blood for energy. When that system breaks down, sugar levels in the blood start to rise, and over time, that causes some really serious damage to the body's organs. And to understand the human side of all this data, just listen to this perspective from Tinotenda Dakiti in Zimbabwe. As he points out, it's not just about one person's health. It's this constant challenge that really impacts the entire family. Now, it's absolutely crucial to know there are two main types. Type 1 is an autoimmune disease. Basically, the body stops making insulin altogether. But the huge majority of cases, we're talking over 90%, are type 2. And this is caused by what's called insulin resistance, where the body just can't use its own insulin effectively. But, you know, the story doesn't end there. One of the most alarming findings in the whole atlas isn't about the people we know have diabetes. Nope. It's about the ones we don't. Get this, a staggering 43% of people with diabetes don't even know they have it. Let that sink in. That means almost half of all cases are completely undiagnosed. This is the hidden, silent part of this whole epidemic. And being undiagnosed is incredibly dangerous. This isn't some harmless state of not knowing. For years, sometimes even a decade, the disease can be silently damaging nerves, kidneys, your heart, all before a single symptom is ever recognized. Okay, so if the number of undiagnosed cases wasn't sobering enough for you, get ready for this next figure: 635 million. That's the number of people who are right on the brink. They have what's called impaired glucose tolerance, or prediabetes. What this really is a vast population at super high risk of developing full-blown type 2 diabetes in the very near future. So this growing crisis brings with it an enormous cost, and not just in human lives. We're talking about economic terms that affect every single one of us. For the first time ever, the direct health spending on diabetes has shot past $1 trillion in a single year. $1 trillion. To put that into perspective for you, that means that 12 cents of every single dollar spent on healthcare worldwide goes to managing diabetes. That is an incredible strain on our global health systems. But of course, the true cost, the real cost, is measured in lives. And this number, well, this is the most devastating one of all. In a single year, 3.4 million deaths were attributed to diabetes. It's one of the leading causes of death worldwide, yet somehow it often stays in the shadow of other big global health issues. And this burden is not spread out evenly, not at all. China and India alone account for almost 240 million cases. Then you've got the United States, Pakistan, and Indonesia right behind them. And while the numbers are concentrated, it just goes to show you the truly global nature of this challenge. So all this brings us to the most critical question, right? Where is this all heading? The Atlas projects forward to the year 2050, and the picture it paints is pretty stark. By the middle of the century, the number of adults with diabetes is projected to jump by 45% to a staggering 853 million people. Remember that steep trend line from earlier? Well, it's not flattening out anytime soon. But the most shocking part of this is where this growth is happening. The crisis is absolutely exploding in regions that can least afford to deal with it. Africa is projected to see a 142% increase. 142. And you're seeing massive growth also forecast for the Middle East and Southeast Asia. So what this all means is that 95% of the future increase is going to happen in low and middle income countries. This poses a monumental challenge to health systems that are already stretched thin, and it raises some really urgent questions about global health equity. And all this leaves us with one final, really sobering thought. The data is clear. We're on a path towards nearly 1 billion people living with diabetes. The numbers are just staggering, the costs are immense, and the human toll is devastating. So the question the Diabetes Atlas really forces us all to ask is a vital one. Are our global health systems truly prepared for what's coming?